This is London with Bitcoin Spike. Let's go over the details on Bitcoin. We have some updates in terms of the TA. This is London with Bitcoin Spike. We'll go over the details. Shout out to our VIP. It is another weekend. I have lined out on the daily. Hit the like button if you're trading Bitcoin this weekend. I'm excited to say we're gaining in terms of the numbers of VIP. Shout out to Chris. Welcome to VIP. We'll get that scheduled out this week, guys. Number one trade group, over 130 members, including backroom signals, all types of important perks not to exclude. Guys, take a look at the indicator. The incredible indicator that we have been working on has just been a phenomenal success. I'm about to get into the descending triangle on the daily. This is London with Bitcoin Spike. See the incredible signal. Boom. Look at this signal. This is on the daily chart. Taking a look at this, if you had engaged at this signal, you're currently up 13% over the last 19 days. Now, you had a better quick trade, I would say, many trades thereafter. We're going to go through the dynamics right now on the left-hand side of your screen. This is London, former hedge fund owner, private non-SEC, and not financial advice. Taking a look at the dynamics as we see the specifics on the daily. We have been and before I forget, let's pay attention to this. I share this with the VIP. I always share the signals with the VIP in the back before I produce a video. Taking a look at the hourly, you understand the New York Institute of Finance recognizes the trading tactic. The trade tactic of crossing the 20 moving average on the Bollinger Band, right? The standard deviation tool, which encompasses 95% of the price action. That's what the Bollinger Band is. Its central focal point is the 20 moving average. Now, on the 8 hourly, and this is important, on the 8 hourly, we have set a candle underneath the Bollinger Band, which means the traders will begin to target this specific level, the bottom band, at 18,680. I will encourage you not to become an expert on candles, however, to pay a bit of attention, just a touch of attention to some of the basic candles in play, okay? The candlestick patterns in play. For instance, when you see something that looks like a cross formation in the form of a candle, that's what's called a Doge. It's either indicative of one of two things. One, it could be a reversal pattern, so we pay attention anytime we have a crossover with a Doge, because it could mean one of two things: a reversal, okay, it could be a reversal indicator, or it could merely mean a state of indecision in the market. So anytime we see a crossover on our New York Institute of Finance trade tactic with Bollinger Band, meaning we cross under, we target the lower band. We cross over, we target the upper band. But we're going to pay attention anytime that we set a Doji. And it looks like we may have a string of indecision or a string of potential reversals. So always keep that in mind when you are developing your trade tactics, your trade game, etc. Pay attention. And you don't need to be overly concerned with candles, but I'll tell you, some people think that they're a fancy marketing tool. I'll tell you that. They have fancy names. They're a fancy marketing tool, and they're not that reliable. We pay attention to them at times. Now, in terms of a flat bottom support descending line of resistance, all eyes are on the daily descending triangulation bottom line. We're going to be, guys, I'm going to say we're going to be running out of room not so soon in this pattern. If we really extend forth, we're looking at over a month of a potential additional price action. I'm going to tell you, I've done some calculations. I'd like to see a move on Bitcoin before or around October 12th or 13th. Before or around October 12th or 13th. That's based upon this bottom level figure here. The bottom level, let's say this bottom level duration of where we currently are, okay, and I'd say up to a specified about a 75% threshold maximum. I'd like to reach about a 75% threshold maximum of the overall entirety of the maximum expression of this line of resistance on the candle wicks. This is the daily chart again. You can do your own configurations, do your own calculations. I put this together for you, the VIP, and if you're not VIP, I'm going to tell you guys, you need to join. I question, are you trading? Are you trying to learn? pattern. When VIP join, I know they're getting more serious about their trade game. They're getting more serious about the use of quality indicators, etc. And just phenomenal tools that we have developed in 2022 that will carry us here and beyond. Looking at the framework, do you see the pattern play? Here, take a look at this on the left-hand side. Do you see the fire and ice indicator? Do you see a pickup on the green line? Absolutely. Do you see multiple pickups on the pro line? This is just beautifully well done. This is on the 5 minute. Do you see the cut points here on the pro line? Let's go to the candle wicks. But you'll see how phenomenally well this is trading. Beautifully well done. It will be your perk when you join VIP. And if you were already in VIP and haven't given me your trading view name, I will need that because it is an invite-only script. This is the last 23 hours of trade action. Remember, we always have that buyer sale line below. Thus, it's also a wonderful, in addition to the pro line, the green buy line, the golden short line. We also have the ice cold short line above, meaning what? Meaning it. Let me go to the actual, let's go to the pro zone, guys. Let's go to the pro. We had the modern look. Let's go to the pro look real quickly. There's the pro look. Just to clean up a little bit, okay, in terms of also having a range, a scale in range at the bottom and at the top of your ultimate extreme short levels. This is the 5 minute. I tell people the 1 hourly and below essentially is, and pay attention, essentially is a pro level. I'm going to give you a bit of insight tonight as well. As you look at the indicator, I'm going to recommend that you do one thing. If you are aware of a pattern in play, please pay attention. If you're aware of a pattern in play, let's say on the specific, and let's clean this up just one moment. Let me go ahead and hide this just for a moment. As you zoom into that, it definitely clarifies. But let's say that you're looking at a potential ascending triangle on the hourly. I'm going to go through the specific symmetrical triangle on the daily in one moment. But if you're looking at a pattern, I want you to pay attention to this very carefully in terms of usage of fire and ice, or specifically, guys, proprietary, self-coded. I'm going to tell you guys, it's ours, that indicator. Working very hard with overseas development teams in terms of bringing you the look and feel that you want. What I'll say is, if you have a pattern on the 4 hourly, or a pattern on the hourly, you need to pay attention to fire and ice on that time frame. Okay, if you have a pattern on the hourly or 4 hourly, I want you looking at the hourly or 4 hourly, right? The larger time frame that the pattern exists on, and even the next time frame up. I think that will be a good solution for you now. And remember to never be overexposed in any specific trade. You'll find that the fire and ice indicator will force you, you know this, guys, to use capital management skills. And guys, those are straight out of the book of New York Institute of Finance. I encourage you to get that book today. John J. Murphy, Technical Analysis of the Financial Markets. He has a preceding book as well, both published by the New York Institute of Finance, where Wall Street literally goes to school. The top traders in the world in Wall Street, they go to the New York Institute of Finance. I like to say that we are a willing proxy for the New York Institute of Finance to keep you up to date with what Wall Street is doing. Now, in terms of the symmetrical triangulation that we see on the daily, you see a nice, well-scripted level of really a hook in to resistance, hit to support, back to resistance to support, back to resistance, and then we have broken out. We have caught, I'm going to say, within threshold of a flat top, though we are angled up just a bit. So we have, I'm going to say this, if you will go to the candle wicks, you will see that the trajectory we had the other day to the upside, and shout out to the VIP. I know that you caught that move. We caught it in the back. Beautiful. I said, bulls can do this. You guys know that if we'll get together. Remember that, guys. But looking at the framework, the measurement we have, look at this, we have accomplished that specific target to the upside. So that, while it doesn't look like it on the lines, this is the important part of the TA review here on the daily. And I love the daily. Pay attention. The daily is going to give you some really solid pattern frameworks that are highly reliable. I just really believe that after the amount of work that we've done on the daily, and particularly the 4 hourly as well. The weekly is actually a nice time frame also. But as you would look at the symmetrical triangulation, just pay attention, because it looks like we haven't performed to the upside. We haven't met that amplitude target carry up. However, you switch to the candle wicks and you see that we have. So looking at let's go to the hourly very quickly. What I would like to, and you see that I had the symmetrical triangulation there so we could go over it in terms of trade tactics. What I don't like is hearing ever of let's say someone who's encouraging TA on well, if this, then that. I don't want to be equivocal. I want to provide you solid technical analytics and a trade tactic for you to continually beat the market. That is the bottom line. As we would look at, and let's take care of these lines very quickly, but as I would continually look at something like fire and ice, this is your trade tactic. I'm going to tell you, as you would look at even, and let me make sure I bring this over. I want to demonstrate what we have. Essentially, let's talk about this. What we have on the scale, the price scale. Do you see how we have laid out the price scale for you to demonstrate those specific, let's say a buy line or the pro lines, that internal pro line, or the short line, the golden short line, even demonstrated here with that fire sale line, meaning price has gone down to the specific fire sale line for a pickup. Sellers have engaged. Guys, they've been great pickups on different time frames. I'll warn you that it is definitely a range trading tool. Do you see all the pickups? Do you see the green buy line, golden short lines, the multitude here of pro pickups and releases? This was a beautiful catch here. You guys know it's just been phenomenal to trade it. We're looking forward for it to actually improve over time and to maybe have an additional level of access on the indicator. So what I'll say right now is it looks like we're grinding along very slowly. You all know this. We're grinding along very slowly. It's been a very slow weekend so far, which is okay. That's all right. If Bitcoin wants to relax for a bit, I don't mind it. Last weekend, we had a slow March, and then what happened? I said, well, I would really watch out for the week, and boom, we had incredible trades on the week. So, guys, if you're new to trading Bitcoin, I want to encourage you. This is the right group to be with. We have had former JP Morgan, former BlackRock, former Credit Suisse, former crypto exchanges professionals, former NFL players. Guys, this is London with Bitcoin Spike. It's the #1 trade group. Looking at the specific bell formation, you can say that we have an inverted head and shoulders here. Not a bad look for an inverted head and shoulders. Also, anytime that we see, pay attention, anytime that we see an expansion with a descending line of resistance and a descending line of support, essentially what that is telling us is that we have increased volatility between the buyers on support and sellers on resistance. We want to be a part of any increased volatility. And I'll tell you right now, orders are waiting at levels below along this level of support, meaning breakout is anticipated to the upside. You know the measurement tactics in Bulkowski, 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 Encyclopedia of Chart Patterns. I recommend that you all have a book of that on standby. Keep it next to your trade desk. That will provide you a multitude of probability statistics dealing with the specified patterns. On this specific pattern, I always want you to please mind this lower line of support. This is an ideal pickup level for this specific pattern. They are strong patterns to trade on Bitcoin. I'm going to tell you, between the residual time frame here up through October 12th or 13th, there is a further extension where we could be in this dynamic back on the right-hand side, looking at on in through all the way to November. Let's say mid-November, we could still be in and around this zone. Now, some people will think, well, that's boring. We don't want to be sideways up through November. Let me tell you one thing. What will you do if price is sideways? What have we been doing while price is sideways? We have been trading. And we'll remember during this sideways jaunt here on Bitcoin, yes, that we actually produced the range trading tool. So that's instrumental in terms of your success. The price targets to the downside, we've gone through that. You understand, I won't be repetitive there. I want to encourage you to join VIP. As we're looking at growing in 2022. This is London with Bitcoin Spike, and we have La Jolla incoming. You know that. We have some very in La Jolla. It's the crown jewel of Southern California. Next week we'll be out there. We want you to join along, at least in terms of your activity with VIP. There's only one group going to have a headquarter in La Jolla, crown jewel of Southern California. It's going to be our group. We're developing some really beautiful and very instrumental pattern frameworks for you to go through in terms of your trade development, pattern identification, and this is the place if you want to beat the market. I'm going to tell you, with the right group, this is the place. Now, you can join here today, and guys, we'll always be trading in the back. That's the bottom line. I did tell you, in terms of not being equivocal, let me go through this before I forget very quickly, just to make sure. On the hourly or 4 hourly, let's go through the trade tactic in terms of if we are in a mid-level zone here, right, without being ambiguous in terms of, as we would say, ambiguous. I don't want to be, we don't want to lose our power or our direction in terms of the market and just settle with, well, maybe or maybe. We don't want to do that. So what we like to do is provide strong, solid tactics, right? When will the trade engage? And the market is always going to require you, I'll tell you, to trade. If you don't believe me, ask people who didn't get out at the top of Bitcoin, or didn't get out at the top of the NASDAQ, or the S&P 500, or the Dow Jones. Absolutely, guys. So you can say, well, it's going to this price. You still need to trade. And on the micro, for us day traders, we pay attention to directional movements on the daily time frame, just as we would pay attention to a movement on a weekly, quarterly, I'd say, or annual basis, such as an all-time high in one of the equity markets or for Bitcoin. So yes, we drill down on the daily. We like to play these patterns. We like to trade these patterns more aggressively. They require you to be very well grounded in terms of your TA approach. And that's a process. Be patient with the process. Looking at a flat top resistance, ascending line of support, I want to let you know that traders will become very excited in and along on the 4 hourly of this top level of resistance on the ascending triangle. Now, looking at the threshold here, it is quite a while. Looking at this, until the apex, we're looking at a potential additional 20 plus days. So we would appreciate Bitcoin getting up and out. However, guys, with the number of trades in the lower time frames, etc., just to give you an idea here of that, it's going to be a little bit beyond October 12th, that date I gave you beforehand. However, if you dig into your Fibonacci's, and I don't deal with this all the time, but if you start dealing with your Fibonacci's in terms of the ideal breakout, the 60, I'd say the 2/3 to 3/4 breakout target that we have on triangulations or wedges, I just tell you, guys, things start to make a bit more sense. Don't want to get too complicated. And what I tell you, guys, I wanted to just bring this level of resistance where traders will really start to get excited in and around this level of 20,177 if we can recapture, if and when we can recapture such. So keep that on the radar in terms of a real power play move, boom, to the upside. And let's go ahead and measure that very quickly just so that you can have this all in one. There we go. As Bitcoin has been really impressive recently, this would be a move to the upside of about over 14%, throwing on an additional $2,777. The higher probability trade will come in along an entry at this top level resistance, just underneath it. When we can start to knock on the door of the resistance, that will be the moment when, guys, heavy traders will start to really, really get excited about that move up, and that residual move up from knocking on the door. That level of resistance will be an additional, about almost a $2,000 move up, almost a 10%, guys. A 10% gain would be beautiful, back to 22,131. Be aware of the descending triangulation. It is nothing to scoff at. It is a bearish pattern operating in this zone on through to the apex is not out of the question whatsoever. We do have room in this zone, and I'll just tell you, understand we're in a bearish pattern. We will state that without equivocation or without any type of an apology as to classifying it as a bearish pattern. To do otherwise and simply frame, well, it could be a double bottom. Well, I'll tell you right now, it's a very strong descending triangle. It's a very strong descending triangle is the bottom line. We have not fulfilled the requirements for a double bottom. We have an angle here with a lower low. Pay attention, on the daily we have an angle and a lower low right now. So that's not ideal for a double bottom. Yes, Bitcoin likes to surprise. Yes, we'll trade a breakout of this specific pattern potentially. However, breakouts can be somewhat fatal. What I'll tell you in terms of fatal, guys, in a bear market, any type of a breakout trade can increase the carnage in the market, bottom line. So looking at our day trade opportunities, looking at the next trade before us, it's going to be this ascending triangulation here. We'll be watching in the back, and that's on the 4-hourly, before we get carried away with, well, we're going back up to 30,000 or this is it. We're not going to do that, guys. We're not going to have you buy and sell into hype. That's not wise, guys. So back to the invitation to join. Yes, San Diego is on the map. Beautiful La Jolla. We would like you to join this specific link here. And yes, once you join, hit the first pin tweet, put I am VIP. Some guys out there, shout out to Big Chris, have just pulled the trigger. He's from Australia. He's been in touch with me for a while, and he finally pulled the trigger. He let me know London. I went ahead and pulled the trigger yesterday, and we're looking forward, Chris, to getting you in the back. It's the #1 trade team. We have traders all over the world, guys, all over the world. Over 130 traders join the first month. It's the #1 trade group. Once you join, hit I am VIP. Type in I am VIP to that first pinned tweet. There we go. And I'll delete that because I just did that. But that will put you in touch with me. And when you're in touch with me, guys, we're going to keep you lined out in terms of TA. We're going to make sure you have the essentials, not only to trade leverage, but spot positions, accumulating, money management, things of that nature in terms of the New York Institute of Finance, where Wall Street goes to school. You won't have to take advice from me or anyone else in VIP. You'll have the tools to beat the market and to start along that journey and to recognize it's a journey, and it's one journey that we definitely are committed to bringing to all the traders who need and deserve that journey in 2022 and beyond. This is London with Bitcoin Spike. Guys, have a great weekend. Pleasure's all mine in terms of delivering some TA and some approach with some time frames. I'd like to see something in terms of October 12th, there and about, guys. It is calculated and that's measured. We'll talk to you soon, guys. This is London. I'll be in the back trading. Bye-bye.